Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Alina and I am a growth-minded single mom here in Houston, Texas. Really just trying to reach for the goals that God has put in my heart, trying to live the life of my dreams and trying to create the life of my dreams rather. And I'm trying to take you guys along my journey and hopefully teach you something. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the first chapter of Ramit Sethi's I Will Teach You to Be Rich book. I watched his show on Netflix and I thought he was really smart, and I was like, okay, let me just get his book and see. I think personal finance is a really important skill that I want to learn. That's definitely one of my goals this year is to get a handle on my own personal finances. At the job I'm at right now, I'm making decent money, and I really want to optimize the way I'm spending my money and my money spending habits. And I think that single moms in general would really benefit from honing in on this skill because, in all honesty, we are working with a smaller margin of error. On one income, taking care of a household, there's just not much room for us to not have good personal finance skills. So, we're going to learn about it together, me and you. Chapter 1, Ramit Sethi's I Will Teach You to Be Rich. In this chapter, he talks about debt. He primarily focuses on credit card debt, but he does talk a little bit about student loans. Um, the idea is that there are a lot of negative connotations around credit, and you know, not all of those things are unwarranted, right? He talks about credit card scare tactics, how the media uses unflattering stats and headlines about America's debt crisis. But we also know that there are definitely some negative consequences that can come from mis misuse of credit cards, okay? Lowering our credit score really has an impact on our livelihood in terms of like trying to get an apartment, trying to get a home, need to get a car. We need all those things. So all of these things are negative connotations associated with debt and with credit cards, but Sethi's approach is actually that credit cards can be helpful. In fact, credit is one of the most important factors to getting rich. He talks about how beneficial credit cards can be because they tend to have thousands of dollars in perks, and also, you know, student loans too can be very beneficial depending on the way your the major that you go into and how you utilize your major after your degree after college. According to Sethi, the first way to start benefiting from credit cards is to check our credit score and our credit report. He provides us with links to two websites that allow us to check those things for free: annualcreditreport.com and myfico.com. So, in this video, I'm not only going to be talking about the first chapter of this book, I actually went and pulled this data for you. It's a little bit scary, but yeah, I want to be transparent with you all and really take you guys along my process. So, let's just go down here. I can't show you exactly what was in my credit report, but I went to the link that he showed, and this is like the top line menu bar, I guess. And this is all of the information that comes up whenever you run your credit report. How's your names? I had a few names on there, like my first, my middle, my last, my first, my middle initial, my last, my first, my last misspelled. I have no idea. Addresses that I've lived at, year of birth, phone numbers that I've been associated with, employers, any accounts that I have any credit with, I guess, like mostly my student loans and my credit cards. Public records, I didn't have any public records. Hard inquiries are, I guess, whenever a creditor like opens up a new account. I'm not really sure. And soft inquiries are when maybe you have given access to a company like Credit Karma to just run inquiries from time to time on your account, and those are soft inquiries. So when I was on there, there are soft inquiries that I didn't even recognize. I'm like, I have no idea who this is. I looked it up, and apparently there's not a way to get soft inquiries off of your report. But I am like, how are these people running my information? I really don't know. So, if you guys have any information about, or if you have experienced that too, where you're like looking at your credit report and you're like, I do not recognize this soft inquiry specifically at all, let me know and let me know how you handled that. But for me, mostly my soft inquiry was like Credit Karma because I definitely check my credit through Credit Karma a lot. Okay, so the next thing I checked was my FICO score through I think it was FICOscore.com or something that we saw earlier. Anyway, I'm doing pretty good. I have made it a point to pay back my personal loans. I just paid off all my last personal loan this year, but I definitely have credit card debt and I have a lot of student loan debt. Okay, so I did that, and let's see what's next. Okay, so after you've done that, his next step is to pick a credit card with great benefits and never accept a credit card offer from retail stores. And his last step is to pay off our balance in full every month. So that's definitely something I need to be more mindful about is paying off my balance in full. So if you're like me, your main question was like, okay, Ramit, if I need to pick a good credit card, which credit card do you use? Because I want to use what you're using. He tells us he uses Chase Sapphire Reserve for travel and eating out. For business, he uses Capital One Cashback Business Card. And for everything else, he uses Alliant Cashback Card. But then he does have an Amex Platinum Card for the added benefits. But he recommends just 2 to 3 cards. And right now, I have 3 credit cards. One is my Chase Sapphire credit card. I have a Capital One Quicksilver card and a Capital One Saver One card. I got my 2 Capital One cards whenever my credit was not that good, and I wanted to build up my credit. And then more recently, I got the Chase Sapphire card mainly because I like it because it's metal. It makes me feel bougie. Right now I'm paying almost all my bills on my Chase Sapphire card for the perks because I like to travel at the end of the year. So if I'm I already got to pay my rent anyway, might as well put it on my credit card and reap the benefits of actually using that card at the end of the year with some free miles. And I also definitely use it when I'm out and about because there's a lot of fraud going on. Like especially when you go to like a gas station, you put your card in the card machine. Like there are actually scammers who put like fake readers on there and they collect your card information. Well, in that case, if I see some fraudulent activity on my account, call up my credit card company like, hey, I did not make that purchase, and they remove it from my statement. So it's a good way to protect yourself. All right. Regarding debt, Sethi says that we all know that we need to pay our debt down and says that our money psychology is why we actually do the opposite. He talks about transgenerational scripts and beliefs that are unconsciously driving our behaviors. Scripts like, oh, my debt's not that bad. Everyone has credit card debt. Sarah has more credit card debt than me. I shouldn't buy this, but it's only a drop in the bucket compared to what I owe. Or these credit card companies are just trying to trap me and I don't even know how much I owe. So he says that through this book, he's prepared to help us change our money stories. He touches on student loan debt and gives us steps to paying it off. He said to play with financial calculators at bankrate.com, put $50 or more towards your debt owed, and call a lender if there's no reasonable way that you'll be able to pay off your debt in a reasonable given amount of time. So I guess I could do a little bit of that bankrate.com stuff at the end of this because I am going to show you my student loan debt and just see what we can do. Okay. Paying off credit cards. Over 70% of Americans have credit card debt. Fewer than half are willing to talk about it. I thought that was so interesting because I was like, yeah, I don't want to talk about my credit card debt at all. It feels like my dirty secret. Like, it feels like the dirty clothes in the corner of my closet that I put back there, and I will not open the closet door when company comes over because I don't want them to see those dirty clothes in the it seems like credit card debt feels like my bad decision, so it's something I feel very like hesitant to share with people, but today I'm going to share it because I want to be honest with myself and with you guys and just show you the journey from ground zero. Okay, so step one is to figure out how much debt you have, decide what to pay off first, decide where the money to pay off your cards will come from, and just get started. So those are the main points that I got out of chapter 1. And let's see, are there any journals? Okay. What are the stories I've told myself about debt? For me, I've told myself that I'll never be able to pay off my student loan debt, so why even waste my money trying to? I'm like, okay, listen, I'm never going to be able to pay it off, so why should I sacrifice my happiness and survival today to pay off something that I know I'm never going to be able to try to pay off something I know I'll never be able to pay off anyway. So before I answer these two questions about what steps I'll take to pay off my debts, I want to actually go have a look at the debts that I have and yeah, just see what I'm working with. So I just pulled these within the last week. Okay, here's my student loan debt. For the record, you guys, I took like 6 years to finish my undergrad. I finished with a degree in Middle Eastern Studies, and I did like, I don't know, a year and a half of law school maybe. So I've got some pretty big loans here. Oh man. Okay, so my total current balance is $103,000, 103,672 and 48 cents in student loan debt. And that is like a super scary number. Very scary. Okay, and here are my credit card debts as of yesterday. Um, all right, so I have 3,699 on my Sapphire card with available credit of about $1,200. Okay, this is, my balances are sitting higher than they typically do because this year I decided to invest like without preparation for a wardrobe overhaul. I just had this idea. I'm like, okay, I'm becoming a new Alina this year, and new Alina needs new clothes. And so, yeah, I made that investment, and I'm definitely dealing with the consequences of that. Okay, so and I have a APR of 27.24%. On here, I have the Saver One card, which I've kind of used as like an overflow from this card. So definitely some investments in my wardrobe and also some like stuff for my daughter for school. So I owe $2,439.59 there. And on my Quicksilver card, I think I just have like, I don't know, maybe my Netflix subscription on here for $16.77. And as you can see, I pay this one off in full every month. This one, this balance has been like, this credit card has not had anything on it up until like this month or maybe within the past 2 months. And this one always sits at a balance of at least over $2,000. So definitely, sobering to see these numbers and it makes me feel a little overwhelmed, I'm not going to lie. But yeah, I'm just going to take one step, girl. One step at a time. All right. So, what steps will I take to pay off my student loan debt? Well, when I look through my notes, because I don't really know how much money I can afford to pay toward my debt every month, my student loan debt. But what I do know is that I'll feel good if I put at least $50 toward my debt. So I'm going to start. Okay. So setting the bar very low here, but a step is a step nonetheless. And what steps will I take to pay off my credit card debt? I'm actually going to prioritize these to pay them off even before my student loan debt. Okay, so I will prioritize paying off these debts. I will first pay down my Chase card aggressively, then my Saver One card, then finally I'll move to my student loan debt. So, yeah, that's my plan. I feel like my plan probably needs more tangible or like more quantifiable action steps. So I will have to think about it and probably come back to the next video. Like I probably should say I will pay off this amount every month to this credit card. But at the current moment, without doing an audit of my incoming monies and my outgoing monies, I can't really think to say like, oh, I can afford to pay this much toward my debt and it will come from this place. So, you know, like I said, this is definitely a learning experience that we're all going through together. And in the next video, I will definitely have some more like concise information to create a true plan, because this is like kind of ambiguous. But this one is good. This one's a little bit ambiguous. If, Uh, all right, you guys. I hope that that was an informative video, a pretty short one, I think. If you have any questions, or if you, like I said, if you have checked your credit report and seen those soft inquiries from companies you've never recognized before, let me know down in the comments, and let me know what are your steps to pay off your student loan debt, your credit card debt. How much debt are you in? Let's just get a conversation going. And I want to know, what are the stories you've told yourself about debt? We know mine. We know everything about my debt today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope to talk to you soon. Take care.